And the funny part is, you hear Prophetess Maddie Dotters going hard in the paint in the background. I used to have my keyboard and sing. I'm practicing right now because it's about time that I start doing that stuff again. That's the, believe it or not, that's what got me through a lot of the gang stalking and tragedies that happened in my life. Like, after I went, I would go and be angry, and then I would cry about it and talk to God about it. Then I'll have some time eventually where I would just go to the piano or the keyboard, I should say, I meant to say, or the guitar or the bass, and just start playing songs and making music. And my mom loved it. Little did I know there was a couple of people that was jealous. But I understand though, because if it seems like you're the star in the family, it can make you feel some kind of way if you're not being recognized in that way. And that's the part that makes me feel sad about people who um, feel hurt because they feel inadequate because they're comparing themselves to someone who is currently in the spotlight, as if they don't have the capability to also shine. And that's the part that's getting people caught up in doing sacrifices. And well, I don't know why I felt to sing that. But anyways, they're getting caught up in sacrificing people and um, just doing rituals and being wicked, wanting power, wanting to overpower other people. Remember what I said about the sacrifices give them some sort of power? That's all, is like they feel like they conquer the blood sacrifice. They conquer that person's blood. I don't know how it gives them power. I haven't figured that part out yet. I think it's spiritually. I'm starting to get some ideas. Like, for instance, how they have the graveyards, have the people's names written in all caps on the stone, and it's into the ground. There was something someone said about that, about how that's like a ritual that they keep you here on earth, like they keep you bound here on earth. And they also want me to be bound with these contracts of the United States government corporation. And they don't want me to operate in the out of the Republic of the United States, the Republic of the United States of America. They would rather me be a slave and lost and proclaimed dead and lost at sea. I mean, even though I am a Pisces, but I would rather be free from being proclaimed dead and lost in the sea. That's what a lot of people should learn, because that's one way how they keep you bound. And I will encourage a lot of us people that are going through these situations to learn about contract law, to set yourselves free from their contracts, or learn how to have rights in the system. They don't want to be um, held accountable for the things they've done to you, so they do make it hard for you. And just imagine if you get in gang stalk and then you find out there's a way to not allow them to have some sort of control over you being in their system. That's one less way that they can control you, if you know how to assert yourself with the with the law. I was gonna say in commercial law. That's not the word I was looking for. I think contract law. I'm gonna order that book too. I mean, hopefully the empire I'm ordering it from actually gets around to getting it sent out. Because there's a couple times when I reached out to these people and they didn't. It's like they didn't even remember. I'm kind of frustrated about that. Like when a company takes your money for something, but they're not professional when it comes to making sure they get it to you. I've had better service from Amazon. So the Malachian Empire might need to invest in getting a customer service department. I know that they want to keep it all in house. Maybe train someone to become customer service because, yeah, I'm seeing some flaws and it's affecting business wise. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the frustration I'm having with getting the information I need. Everything's in due timing, but and then if someone has you pay for something to be expedited and it was said to arrive by a certain day, I don't want to be a Karen about it. So I try to wait patiently, but it does get frustrating when there's several different things that you keep running into with the same company. And I give them some slack because they're operating on a different level. They're not like these organizations that's running off of sacrificing people and getting money through the insurance companies. These insurance companies are really the people we should be holding accountable because they're the ones who's allowing this to be possible for people sacrificing people to get money. That's what was revealed to me back in 2022. And when I went outside, another thing that I remembered because I saw a rat running is I kept seeing rats running and the long tail was on one of them. So that was a sign to me to tail. It's like they were saying tail. But I was like, I didn't want to be like a tattletale, but that's what my job is to do. And when I started speaking out in the comment section back then in 2022 under a different what you call it, a different page, YouTube page, I noticed that that's after like the other stuff started happening, like the rituals, the seeing a bunch of birds, and then I was seeing dead birds, I was seeing dead fish on now how do you get a freaking dead fish and put it on on the sidewalk and in a random area? Where the way it happened, I knew someone did that intentionally. That's why whoever did that, they're seeing. That's why it came up in a reading recently and it reminded me of that happening. Not a reading, a personal reading, but it was a general read someone did. I believe it may have been Miss Spiritual Advisor, but she was correct. She said that person seeing birds everywhere. They starting to see dead caucuses or dead birds or something like that. And spiders, and that was all of the stuff that I had noticed that I was seeing at one point. I'm like, what is going on? And then I found later it was revealed that someone was sending spiritual attacks to me. And one main spiritual attack that it comes in the form of a spider. I don't know why, and that is, but even my mom have had dreams where a demon, when she woke up, it was a big spider on the wall. When she woke up from a dream, and they always take the shape and form of some bugs, for some reason, like they're pests. I don't know exactly what is the spiritual meaning behind that. Why their main one that I've noticed though is taking the form and shape of a spider. So if that helps anyone, because I remember at a hotel I stayed at, there was this brown recluse spider on the ceiling crawling, and it was just being still. I knew it was waiting till I went to sleep, and then little do you guys know, I woke up just in time. I told that spider, I prayed to God about it, and I said, I'm gonna get that spider. I'm gonna kill it because it think it's gonna try to bite me because it was I think a poisonous brown recluse spider. I've seen them because of when I was doing a training at the Astoria Hospital for my CNA2 certification, I mean license, and then there was someone who bought a brown spider in a pill bottle, and when I saw what it did to him, I was like, oh my goodness. That's how I learned about those spiders. Oh man, they're so poisonous. And it was on the wall, and it was a big one. It was when I was in Kansas, when I got released from jail because my parents somehow bailed me out, and the bail bondsman paid $1,000 to get me out. There was something about that. I never figured that part out because I didn't really want to think about it too much. And he was like, it's almost like he knew that it was some sort of setup stuff going on. The vibe and the energy and how he was talking to me and stuff. And that's what I was picking up. He knew that there was some sort of setup energy going on. So that was strange. But I thank God because that was a manifestation of a prayer um, being answered, that I went hard in the paint praying to God while I was in that Kansas jail. And I even told them while I was in there, I was like, if you guys kill me while I'm in here in the spirit world, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna flip the car over of the officer while he's driving and make and I can't believe I said that. And you know how people, I heard that people be listening in the jail cell, so I don't even know if they heard me say that or not. But I did speak to one of the officers in there, and it was, I had became angry at one point, and the way I spoke to him, he finally went and did his job, which was call that doctor and let them know I need to get up there, that I'm on my way over there, because I needed to, I mean, basically to schedule an appointment so I can be seen, because they had broke my freaking wrist. They broke something on my wrist. My wrist was really swollen, I couldn't use it, and I had proof of that on those cameras. That's another reason why they took my phones from me. And on top of it, Officer Dustin Dewson took a picture with his own camera that they had in the facility of the little jail place that we were at. It was like a ghetto homemade jail because it looked kind of like we went into a garage, and then in the garage led to like a ghetto small jail cell. I guess because it's a small place. Like we were in Waukene, Kansas. I guess it's not too far from Topeka. I don't know, but I was coming from a church not too far away. Um, anyways, there's a long story behind that, but that was a lot. I went through a lot, but I'm pretty sure my story ain't shit compared to some other people's stories out there. And I haven't even gone into detail about a lot of different things that happened. But I'm pretty sure there's always someone's story who's a lot worse. I'm pretty sure those are some really strong people. Unfortunately, some of them never get a chance to share their story for whatever reason, whether it's because they passed away before they got a chance to. And that's why I decided to speak out and share my story so it can help people for generations after me. I think that's it, guys. I don't want to make this too long. I feel a little bit sad though because I was thinking about how I really wanted my mom and grandma to be here, and then to think about all these evil things that happened and why they couldn't be here. Could you imagine how someone would feel? I know you can because a lot of you have gone through it. But to the person who might be listening to this, it who it never happened to, especially you trifling people out there, like the ones I see go to Nefertiti Medium Prophetess channel. Like some of the stuff these people say on there, it's like they don't have no sense of intellect. It's like the people, some of the people that go on there, they try to insult her, but the stuff that they say, it shows like the caliber of their mentality, and they don't see it. And that's the funniest part of all, because while they're over there trying to insult her and try to talk down like, oh, you can't be a guy, you so negative. No, what you call negative, she just putting y'all Negroes in check. What you call negative is somebody who's trying to sacrifice you and take your life from you because they're jealous of you. You didn't do nothing wrong to them but be who you are. And you were even polite and kind to them. But because they compare themselves to you, and they, instead of them being original and just being their own uniqueness, they want to be who you are because they see you as the star. They see you shining brighter than them, at least how brighter than what they're shining at the time, because they're still in darkness. And it seems like darkness hates the light. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, light hates the darkness, but why they're both here for some reason. I don't know why. Why did God have it like that? They say it needs each other. People be saying if we didn't have one, we can't have one without the other. Why can't we? Why can't it just be good? Why can't it just be light? Because the darkness show ain't doing nothing. But I'm not gonna lie, some of the darkness did strengthen me to become kind of the way I am now. And some people would be thinking that that's not a good thing, but I was so like meek, like and weak at times. I was gullible, I was naive, I was a pushover. That's why I got bullied when I was in school. I bet you can't tell that now, baby, the way I be talking. And I don't mean baby in a disrespectful way. That's just like a phrase, like people use down south. But queen, empress, emperor, king, for those of you who feel some kind of way about that. Like when people say that, not calling you yourself baby. It's like a figure of speech, I guess. But I don't know, guys. It's just sometimes I sit and think about that stuff and it's so heartbreaking, it's so disappointing. And then I get in my thoughts, and that's why I had a tough time coming back, getting close to God, because I was like, why would God allow such a thing? That's why I understood that pastor when he got heartbroken about some stories he heard about some little girls, and he was thinking that there was no God no more. And I understood how he felt, and people were judging him, but they weren't able to see from his perspective. Perhaps if they were able to see from his perspective, well, be understanding from the way he's looking at it, they may not have been so quick to judge him and like throw him under the bus. Not throw him under the bus, but lash out at him. They even had this um white guy. It's the short, I can't remember his name, but it was a short white dude. He kind of, oh yeah, the ghetto church or ghetto Christian, but I forgot what he called. I remember it said ghetto something in it, and he was judging the dude like he was right, but sometimes the way people try to talk to some people about certain things, like it doesn't come across in a good way. It makes you want to tell that person, man, shut the f up, because you don't even know what I'm going through. That's what it'll make you want to say that to one of those people, even though they have their intentions. It kind of means well, but they're saying it in a judgmental kind of way where it makes it seem like they think they're better than you, and that's where people f up. And even you see how I be talking sometimes, like so ratchet and ghetto and hood. But and be honest with y'all, sometimes I be kind of just having fun when I do that. Or I just want to do that to, I don't know, I will talk about that later, about why I talk like that sometimes instead of always professional, or because I can basically is why I talk like that if I want to, since they want to take everything else from me. And then the constitutional, and I remember officer said he's not a constitutionalist, but I remember Clayton Cool had challenged the officer in Gearhart, Oregon, and said, you sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution or something like that. And then we had it on video that he said, but I'm not a constitutionalist. It's crazy though, because these people, they knew, they were watching me so hard. They knew I had this information, and they set it up for my phones to get taken away. Also for me to be put in to seemingly go crazy because of the harassment they were doing, and I couldn't reach out and tell anybody. If you ask me, we all should be doing a class action lawsuit to the state, to the government, or to the state we live in, because they're the ones who's responsible for ignoring it, because they're in on it too. That's why they're ignoring it. And they just don't give a fuck. They're collecting and benefiting in some kind of way. If they're not, that's how they're in on it as well. Like, you don't actively have to be doing the crime. If you're getting some sort of monetary or financial or what any other kind of benefit because of a crime that's happening, you're a part of it. You're in a what do you call that? Not an accomplice. Is that accomplice? Yeah, it might be. They're accomplices to crimes. In fact, I'm starting to. This country was basically built off crime. It's funny how they try to hold other people accountable for stuff that they do all the time. Those are hypocrites. All right, guys, I'm out of here.